Hey there everyone, Mr. Malocchio back with you here with some Halloween activities. No, I'm not going to take you through a kid's book. I think as any self-respecting movie fan knows that one of the greatest months for collecting movies is of course October, and we're just about near there right now, and one of our favorite Halloween activities, at least mine, is going through the Halloween movies that come out around this time of year. So I just came out of my local Dollarama, and I'm about to show you, I picked up 5 movies, and I'll talk a little bit about the other ones there that I saw, and let's see what you think here. First of all of these, all of these $2.50, which you can't beat for the price. First one I picked up here, part of the Fangoria Fright Fest line, is a story called Fragile, or Fragile, or Fragile, if you want to speak Italian, like in A Christmas Story. This stars Callista Flockhart. So basically this is it looks like a haunted hospital story, I believe is what it is. I'm always a sucker for anything gothic that takes place in a castle, in a hospital, a mental institution. They always just from an atmospheric standpoint, usually pay off in at least some good, atmosphere, right? Like I said. Whether the story holds up over the long run, I ran a quick search on IMDb on this. I believe it was rated around a 6 or so, and as NReady will tell you, we kind of have a personal code that anything over a 6 is usually worth checking out in horror. It's such a subjective medium, and anything over a 6, so that's just a little something that Mr. Malocchio and NReady kind of follow. So, says here, I don't know if anybody's seen this, really gives a great performance. And again, it's, let's see, well, I can't really read that without my glasses. So you'd think the, the man named Mr. Evil Eye would be able to see, but I need glasses. So anyway, that's how it is. Anyway, that's the first one, Callista Flockhart, Fragile, a ghost story. Next one up is actually by a guy here who's a local filmmaker. He's kind of a dick, so I'm kind of resentful of having to pay $2.50 for one of his films. But it didn't get a horrible rating on IMDb. I think it was like a 4. So while I'm breaking my own code, I'm actually just really interested in seeing what this is all about. The Scare House, the director is, you can look him up. I'm not going to give him any more publicity. But it stars his wife, and I figure I might even, possibly know some people in this movie. So I'm interested in checking it out. And you know what? If his film holds up, I'll be the first to say that that guy right there on the bottom made a decent film. So it's called The Scare House, and no doubt got a lot of grant money here. It's got Film Board of Canada and things like that. That's the kind of things we do here in this country to encourage movies. So anyway, The Scare House, gonna check that one out. Next up, I'm on a real sword and sorcery kick lately, having seen and really enjoyed Solomon Kane, and actually watched the last King Arthur movie that came out now, or the last one rather. This one here, it's a futuristic take, I guess, on Beowulf, which I may have even seen this movie. It's not a new movie by any means. I think the cover looks new. I haven't seen it in this packaging before, but again, for $2.50, it's a futuristic tale on Beowulf, on the classic poem. So not expecting too much on it, but again, I'm just in the right frame of mind for anything of this ilk right now. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Next up, I think we might even, or I may even have a copy of this. Unfortunately, I don't have real access to most of my movie collection right now for personal reasons, but I soon will. So I can't even say, do I have this movie or not? So it's Clive Barker's Books of Blood. This is the original director's cut. I have to be honest with you that Clive Barker, the first time I ever saw Hellraiser, was probably outside of The Exorcist, which I saw actually a TV cut when I was 12, believe it or not. And then Jaws I saw a little bit earlier. and Dracula when I was real young. I'd say Hellraiser, like, as a semi-adult, like, you know, whenever I saw it, I was, you know, an advanced teen. It really scared the hell out of me, no pun intended. So Clive Barker's just one of those writers that he has a real way of, you know, getting inside your head, and I don't know exactly how, you know, effective this will be in translating his work to the screen, but obviously this is one of his most famous works, Books of Blood, and this is the director's cut, which usually, you know, you'd like to think anyway, that is usually a little better than by the time the studios get a hold of it and chop it all up. So anyway, Books of Blood, I'm going to check this one out, and, you know, again, for $2.50, you can't beat it. Finally, excited to get this one here. It's a 80s movie, 1989 movie called After Midnight. It looks like a trilogy, which I don't recall seeing this. I may have, in fact, seen it. It's certainly during the era in which I was watching a lot of films. But looks great. It's an MGM release. Again, any trilogy or anthology movie, rather, I'm always a big fan of. I'm a big short story horror guy. Read a lot of House of Mystery, House of Secrets, Witching Hour, comic books like that growing up. So I've always enjoyed the genre of the anthology horror film. Some are better than others, obviously, but I'm really hoping that this is worth the pickup, and I'm sure it will be. Just, you know, judging by the back, I didn't even have to look at the year. It's like, oh yeah, that's an 80s movie. So I don't know if this was released maybe under a different title at one time, After Midnight, but I'm sure you guys will let me know, you guys and gals out there. And that's the last one I picked up. Two other movies I just wanted to mention real quick that I did the quick check on, and I didn't end up getting, was Exorcism, Possession of Emily Bowes, I think was the name, or Gail Bowes. Sorry, Gail Bowes. Possession of Gail Bowes. Got like a 2 on IMDb, so I passed on that. And they also had another Asylum release of Hillside Cannibals, which was reportedly, you know, or allegedly based on the actual story that inspired Hills Have Eyes. But again, that was just rated abysmally on IMDb, so I passed on that one as well. Just a side note as well on the Exorcism Possession of Gail Bowes. That was supposedly based on the actual events that inspired the original Exorcist, but y'all will just have to tell me if them are any good or not, because I passed. But looking forward to After Midnight and the other movies I picked up there. Again, it was at Dollarama. And if you have a Dollarama in your area, now's a good time to go hunting for $2.50 Halloween movies. Anyway, this is Mr. Malocchio. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment or two. You know, I don't like talking to myself out here. That's why we do it, to share our love of movies. Thank you very much to everyone who subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you all on the flip side.